Hello and welcome to Lords of the Sith. I'm Mary and I'm here with Denise.
Hello everybody.
So we're rushing to bring you this very fabulous special episode, guys, because unless you've been living under a rock for the past week, the Vanity Fair photos are out about Star Wars Episode 9. And oh my goodness.
They're
Denise,
beautiful.
Denise, what a difference it was.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. What a difference from 2 years ago. We recorded under Star Wars Connection an episode when they had that romance gate, no central romance, the fanfiction fantasy Reylos. Yeah. And now, at least to get some of the respect we deserve, right?
Hooray! Oh my god, I can still remember the absolute just dread and just disappointment that when I first read that article back in 2017, when he said, for all the fanfiction fantasies of Reylo, it's not gonna happen. And I'm just like, what? Oh my god. So yeah, I think it's... Go on, Denise.
I'm just saying, this time they even have one article especially about this. It says, oh, the nature of their connection. Of course, it doesn't explain, right? We have to go to the movies. And they talk about star-crossed, and they talk about romance. And it's very, even though they're not saying it is going to happen, but I think it normalizes very much what it is, which is really nice. Of course, at the end of the day, their opinion is not, it doesn't mean a lot. Like 2 years ago, it didn't mean a lot, but it's nice to see that.
It is nice to see it. And we even have the wonderful Joanna Robinson herself, who is also a Reylo. She even tweeted like a special, Reylo tweet just for us. So thank you for that, Joanna. It was lovely to see. It's been great. When I saw that the article had dropped, I was very hesitant. And then when I actually saw the photos, I was just like, oh my god, this is so exciting! What were your thoughts, Denise?
Yeah, first I liked the photos. I thought they were beautiful. I was super excited to see the Knights of Ren, to see Lando, and like I said, and that photo with Rey and Kylo in the rain, that's gorgeous, that's beautiful, and it's great to know that we're gonna have this epicness that we had before. Somebody I saw put Rey and Kylo in the snow, Rey and Kylo in the throne room, and then this picture, how it relates to how it's epic like their other battles, even though the throne room wasn't against each other. But I think it's something that, I know it might be staged, it's not necessarily still from the movie, but it gives us, the mood about it, right? Which is really nice. Yeah.
Let's talk about that picture first, actually, because I think it's the one that people want to hear about the most. But let me just say, I have to give a shout out to Gwendy85, because when I saw that photo for the first time, the first thing I thought about was her artwork. Yes. From way back in 2016, I think it was, when she... Oh, was it 2017? I'm sorry, Gwendy, I can't remember, but it was that fantastic photo when there was those rumours where Kylo and the Knights of Ren would go to Acto, and Rey and Kylo would fight in the rain on a cliff. And it's just, oh my god.
But it looks very similar in terms of colors and things. I agree with you. That's fantastic. Yeah. So you see, Reylos were right, even in terms of visual imagery. We got it.
Yep, Gwendy was right. So, it also, it's also like a huge callback. This is probably like the scene where that concept art from the Rise of the Skywalker concept art book is based on. And we've heard, rumours about, them hopping through different places through their force bond. So I think this is it. I think, they might not even be there, in the same place physically, but they could be like fighting each other through the force bond. What do you reckon, Denise?
Yeah, I think so too. It's a spoilery, maybe not. I think it makes a lot of sense because they had the Force bond in the previous movie, and now they're gonna fight. I think they should fight. They have to fight because it makes sense. And if they can touch hands through the Force bond, they can. I think it's gonna be a mix of the Force bond of 8 and Rey's vision of 7. So it's gonna be this Force bond crazy vision, which I think can be visually spectacular. And by the way, everything that we see in terms of photos is really beautiful and really exciting. And also 2 years ago, I remember it was a little shabby. And the photos were shabby, the Vanity Fair, you know, and we had sad look on the rock, and then we had the cover with Rey and Luke looking sad, and it just wasn't something, it wasn't interesting. Maybe for the people who thought it's gonna be daddy and daughter, maybe it could have been interesting, right? To say, oh, this is the plot. But now I think, and that's something with that photo and with the covers, I think they're more ready to give what the trilogy is about, right? We know now that it's not about daddy Luke. We know that it's not even about defeating Snoke, right? So what is it about? Ta-da! We know what it's about.
Star-crossed lovers, as it was mentioned in the article. But I will just quickly say this. There was a video that was released alongside the articles where the writer of the article talked about who could possibly be the Skywalker that's mentioned in the title. And while he says, you know, I think he said there's kind of like a romantic bond in like some Reddit comments. In the video, he says that they could be brother and sister. And I'm just like, oh, no. I think, for me personally, I think he's acting on the orders of Disney. It could be just a speculation, which is fine. But I think he's also acting on the orders of Disney because Disney want tickets, and Disney want people to speculate about Rey. And, you know, they want people to speculate as much as they can. And I don't think
they want people to go there expecting one thing and leaving the theater disappointed. I really don't think so. I think they're prepping us for Reylo, in fact, if this.
I'm not sure because they seemed very like, you know, open to like both possibilities, and of course it can only be one, especially with I
don't think so. I really don't think so. I understand what you're saying, but it's just it doesn't make a sense from a business point of view. Tickets, yeah, it's important, but brand value is even more important, and that's why they even we could talk about Solo, you know, so, they kind of didn't really push it because, you know, but I think I said it. You see things that are spoken, well, but it could have been edited out. But I really don't think they want to push the idea of that. And the Rise of the Skywalker, it should be obvious, especially for the title, because they use Kylo's theme at the same point. It's so glaring obvious. It shouldn't be a mystery, except for people who really don't want to see what's right in front of them.
And some people only see what they want to see.
Oh, well. But he did write that it's the closest thing to a star-crossed love story on the order of Han and Leia. Maybe he meant Luke and Leia. That was a star-crossed love story. Oh my god. Oh, and he did write. I remember he did write. I was reading the whole article. It was so long that most people thought that Luke and Leia were going to be together.
I remember that. Even poor John Williams thought that he wrote a theme song. Oh,
he wrote a love song for them. No, it's a love. Now it's Leia's theme, right? That was what was in the trailer. I said Han and Leia's. It was just Leia's. Actually, it was Luke and Leia's. Maybe they're prepping us for disappointment. No, I'm just kidding. But I think it was nice that they still kept their love, right, as siblings. But I don't think that's the case here because it's very, very different.
True. I hope you're right, Denise, and I wish I had your optimism. Okay, so there is a quote here by Daisy Ridley. I think it's by Daisy Ridley, or is it by the writer? Well, whoever it is.
Just say it. I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah. They're uniquely suited to understand each other, but at the same time, they are in every way each other's inverse, down to Kylo's perverse rejection of his family, which is the one thing Rey craves most. I think there's a part of Rey that's like, dude, you had it all. You had it all. Ridley says, that was always a big question during filming. You had it all and you let it go. I am going to guess that in this picture with Rey and Kylo fighting, maybe that's why she is fighting him at the minute, because she's angry that because she believes he abandoned everything, and she's also angry at he was ready to get all of this away, including her, at the end of The Last Jedi. So I reckon she'll be aggressive and fight him, and he will want to fight her willingly. I think he'll just be defending himself against her. But I think, as Lee says, she wants Kylo to win, and as you've just said, we do need that. But I also think it will be great for Rey's character arc, because, you know, she'll think one thing about him and then slowly grow to realise that her perception of him at the beginning of the movie was wrong. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out.
Yeah, there is a quote by her that she in the beginning of the movie, she says, I don't know the exact quote now, she's not as ready to see him as redeemed, which makes a lot of sense, of course. But I think maybe he could be angry at her because he might be feeling rejected, and his whole feeling of rejection, and you know, like having everything he wants might compound his feeling of rejection and isolation and make him maybe a little, you know, angrier, I would say. But I don't think he would hurt her, and you can't, there's a limit to what you can do with him, right?
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome if they exhaust themselves through this force bond with that fight, that they just sit down and talk, and Rey maybe gets a bit more insight and starts to understand him more throughout his loneliness. I would love that.
Yeah, in the article it does also mention that they were both lonely, and how he was lonely because of the way he was raised. But anyways, regardless of what they say, if it's right or wrong, it's centered on Rey and Kylo. And it was interesting because 2 years ago it wasn't. We saw, oh, Rey and Luke are the beating heart of The Last Jedi. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And later we got the Rolling Stone, and we got new other articles that were more Rey and Kylo, and then we had the trailer. But it's already coming at it. That's why I think they're prepping us for Reylo, because otherwise, if you go there, you know, like, I think they should have learned their lessons, right? Because people who went to see The Force Awakens thinking Finn was the hero and Rey was his love interest, they left The Force, not all of them, but many of them, they left The Force Awakens thinking Finn was the hero and Rey his love interest. And I think even I know there's some very valid reasons and some issues with storytelling in The Last Jedi, but I also think there are some issues with false expectations, right? If people who thought it was gonna be Daddy Luke in The Last Jedi, you know, if you go thinking you're gonna see that and you get something completely different, it is disappointed and people are gonna be upset.
Yeah, true. I hope you're right, Denise, because as far as my opinion goes, Disney and Lucasfilm need to get their marketing preps in order.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I agree. And stop lashing at us, right? Because we're fans too. I not lashing, but you know, I think we need to be respected, and at least this is all very respectful. Even if they say they might be siblings, whatever, as long as they're not calling me a crazy fantasy fangirl, I don't care, right? You can think I'm wrong, you can disagree, but we need to be respected as fans.
I will say I do love as preoccupied with other pairings as you know, as some Star Wars fans are. You know, the production crew is fully behind the Rey and Kylo pairing. Come on, Reylo is one of the most popular pairings in Star Wars. Sure, it might
funny.
Yeah, sure, it might be you know, it might be controversial in some sections, but it is the absolute most popular one of the most popular pairings that came out of the sequel trilogy.
But I don't think it's just saying it is. It's just saying that unlike these other pairings, this pairing is real. I think she's actually saying, hey, this is not fan fiction, but in a way that it might be a little rude to the other pairings, you know, which that's what I got from it. I even wrote it down. I said, unlike some popular romances that have preoccupied fans, the Kylo and Rey relationship, and they talk about it as a relationship, which I think they're going a little bit far, right? The relationship has gotten plenty of support from inside the Star Wars production team. I think it's almost feel like she's if you read this in conjunction with the Vanity Fair from 2 years ago, it almost feels that she's replying to it, right? And kind of trying to fix it, which they they have to fix it because they screwed up, right? So she's very clear that it's not just this romance that preoccupies the fan. It's something that is within the production, right? We don't know the ending, but there is this star-crossed thing there.
Let's be honest, I think Lucasfilm and Vanity Fair were scouting the forums of the fandom, because nobody in any circle, nobody was looking forward to the Vanity Fair coverage. So yeah, well done, Vanity Fair. You did it. Thank you.
I think a lot of people were excited. No, they were excited, but yeah, I was upset, and even like I had to pay to see more photos, and I got so angry since because of the thing 2 years ago. I said I don't pay for Vanity Fair. I'm still angry.
Yeah. Okay. I'll rephrase that. I'll say a lot of people weren't looking forward to it.
Yeah, and also the photos are beautiful, and it's
absolutely
colorful, it's exciting, you get the feel of adventure, fantasy, and I think it's everything that we want to see, right?
Exactly. I mean, let's talk about the covers, like with Rey and Kylo on it. And I've seen a lot of people mention this, and I'm going to agree. I got some major Wuthering Heights feels from it, except it's set in a desert, not on the moors. What did you think, Lee? Denise, sorry. Denise, oh my god. Please cut that out.
We wish Lee was here. But anyways,
I do.
I think it has this thing with the colors and his cape, and they look sad. Somebody say, "Oh, she looks so sad." Why see? But I think it's about their meeting. Is their meeting gonna be exactly like that? Maybe not. But how they're gonna react when they see each other again. And there's the wind, right? The wind is opposite to each of them, so it should be as if they were facing each other, I guess, even though that's not what you have in the picture.
Yeah, I think Rey does look sad, but I think she also, she doesn't look hateful towards Kylo, which is a very good thing. I think she looks sad, but she also looks kind of compassionate, as if she kind of like maybe feels sorry for him. So maybe this is like hinting into his like loneliness, or their both shared loneliness, where she finds out his loneliness wasn't all cracked up to be, and his life wasn't all cracked up to be. So I think that's the look they're going for. And I know Joanna Robinson said that there was like something special in this cover. What that is, we don't know, but I am going to go with the fact that Kylo, he's kind of like under the dark clouds, while Rey is under the light clouds behind him. So maybe that just shows that the light is coming back to him, or is coming to influence him, and that obviously is Rey, while Rey learns more about him than she would ever thought she would get to learn about him.
I thought just that it was two halves coming together, right? Because that's literally what you have. You have these two halves that are going to make one picture, and so
yin and yang.
Yeah, it doesn't really, not necessarily yin and yang, because it's not opposites, but just coming together, because you put them, I think that was it. I don't think there is anything more. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But like I was saying before, comparing with the one from before The Last Jedi, which was Rey and Luke, right? And then that's why people, and then I think the one before The Force Awakens was Rey, Finn, and Chewbacca and Han in the Millennium Falcon, right? So you have had something completely different, and now we're getting to what is because we've been saying since December 2015 that the sequel trilogy is about Rey and Kylo, and now we're getting there, right? Because I think in the beginning it was supposed to be some kind of surprise.
Yeah, but I think that just shows how hopefully Lucasfilm has learnt, has learnt a lesson with its marketing. So I'm hoping that's the case. And also, going back to the Wuthering Heights feels, Kylo looks very, I can never pronounce this word right, Byronic there, I think. He reminds me, he looks like a romantic hero, I think. A very serious, determined romantic hero. And I think it just looks awesome. I think it shows what we are in for, hopefully, and that is his relationship with Rey.
Yes. Well, he is a Byronic hero. I wanted to do an episode on that.
Yeah, definitely. And even the sunset, it sets I'd say sunset. It sets a very romantic mood, I think.
Yeah. And the desert and everything. So yeah, so it's nice. It's looking I'm glad they don't have to bash him again. Bash Vanity Fair. No, but it's beautiful and it's exciting because I think that's what John Boyega in the celebration said, that what people want to see is the relationship between Rey and Kylo, right? Even with the conflict, we want the conflict as well. And I think the covers have what people want to see, and I think, and that's what we also saw during celebration. It was Rey and Kylo all the time, and it's very clear that yes, that's the direction they're going, even if they're marketing this early, because before the Last Jedi we got Rey and Kylo, but it was much later during the marketing.
Yeah, well, this time it's early. Oh, this has kept me smiling all day.
Yeah. And can you maybe talk about the other photos?
Yeah, for sure. So Denise, I think you're excited. We are seeing the Knights of Ren.
Yes. I was like, it would have been such a waste. They look so cool. I remember because they look so cool. I mean, imagine the amount of toys they're gonna sell.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I don't really like action figures, but I don't know, they're so cool. It's something that, but also. Yeah, there's the cool factor, number one. And second, maybe they're the students that came out of the academy. They even suggest that in the article, but it's the journalists, right? We cannot know if that's true.
I hope it is. I know they're not using lightsabers, but I think they are force sensitive, so I really hope they are. I also love their outfits and how, like, you can see that it's part of the same group, because one of them, especially the one with the gun in his hand on the left, his outfit is very, his tunic is very similar to Kylo's armor. And actually, the guy right in front with the axe, oh my god, we're seeing axes in Star Wars. This is so cool.
Yes.
He's got like a cape on, which is very similar. So yeah, they just look awesome. And they also look to be in Jordan. So maybe, they have come with Kylo to that planet, and maybe they like chase Finn and Poe, or Rey and Chewbacca in those, flying machines, or maybe they're hunting down Kylo. We don't know.
Maybe that can be interesting. It's interesting also that they said they wrote in the article that in the scene in the trailer he was attacking one of the Knights of Ren, and then they corrected it.
Yeah, Lee, I'm just going to give a shout out to Lee here, because I think in the previous video she said she wanted that to be Knights of Ren. Well, Lee, you were right.
But they corrected it. So either it was a spoiler or it was something wrong. And
I think it was a spoiler. I think it was a spoiler.
Because there's the first one that we see, and there's another one in the corner. So, but I agree with you that it's probably a spoiler. Why? Because they say a bunch of nonsense, right? And they don't correct it. And why did they come and correct this?
Oops. Disney the mouse wasn't happy.
Well, unless maybe it was just a mistake. I don't know. But it looks like it, and the scene is so beautiful.
No. I know. Okay, on to the next one. We have one with Poe, Chewie, and Lando, and the two droids in the Millennium Falcon.
I love it, because I love Lando. And I'm glad to... Poe doesn't look as good in that one.
I think he does. He looks lovely.
You think? Because I think he's been looking like, I don't know, something out of this world, right? I don't even think Oscar Isaac is that good looking, but Poe, there's something about him. And there he just looks okay. I'm a Poe fan. I'm such a Poe fan. I'm like, no, don't give him the main plot. It's just gonna be an extra. But yeah, one thing is liking the guy. The other thing is thinking that he's gonna be in the main Force plot, right? Come on. But yeah.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think he's moved away from the hairdryer droid just to look good in the photo. But if he leaned his head even a little bit back, to his right, it looked like he was blow drying his hair to make it all perfect.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the fact that these three, including Chewbacca, these three awesome pilots are together in this photo. There's just something just really cool about it, and I love it. And
yeah, it's like the shot of Lando in the trailer. Yes, it is nostalgia, but it's the kind of nostalgia that we like, right? We do go to Star Wars to see new stories, but we also want to see old characters and things that we remember. So yeah, the photo doesn't mean that they're gonna have a scene together necessarily like that, but hopefully there will be some flying there, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, there was even like a little quiz that the cast did in promotion for The Last Jedi, and Oscar Isaac picked Lando as his Star Wars companion. So it would just be interesting to see these two characters together. I think Oscar Isaac would love it, and so would I.
Yeah. What about Finn? Isn't he gonna get jealous though?
Not if Lando is his dad.
Oh yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Meet his boyfriend and later his girlfriend. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Finn, in one of the articles, I think it mentions that Poe considers Finn his family, which is interesting because Rey is considered part of the. It does say somewhere elsewhere that Rey is considered part of the family, but she's not as involved as we say. I'm just trying to find the quote now, but yeah, I think it's because she's kept separate from her because of her Force.
Because of the Force, yeah, that's what it says. She is family, but she has her own thing, which is how it should be, right? It's how it has been in the movies, right? She was family with Finn from The Force Awakens, but at the same time, she never told him that thing with Kylo, right? It was something that she kept. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think maybe that's also a little bit to talk about Storm Pilot and kind of to deny it, because I think they could have done it like low-key, I mean, I don't expect two guys kissing in a Star Wars movie yet, but they could just leave them single and friends,
I don't think so, because if they were going to go for it, they wouldn't have created Rose.
No, I don't think they were going, but I think some people that the fact that some people expected them maybe to be something, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I do agree that after The Last Jedi, it's not a possibility anymore, right? And I think Oscar Isaac is trying to say no, they're family, right? They're not. Yeah, whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do you think that this also might I don't know. I know we see Finn and Poe with Rey on the Jordan planet in the trailer, but do you think it might point towards the direction of Rey possibly leaving the Resistance at some point?
I don't think it. I don't see. I know you guys have theorized about having this conflict of the Resistance. I don't see it. I see some really evil coming, which is exactly what JJ says. There's this great evil coming, and they have to know if they're ready. That there won't be time for little bickering, but she might leave to go with Kylo to fight for something that needs the Force. I don't see her leaving in terms of, oh, I'm not going to be part of the Resistance anymore. Which, by the way, she has never been anyways, she was just with them there, but I don't see her like breaking up with them. I just see her going on her way. But you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I can't. To be honest, I kind of meant I don't think that bickering with the Resistance will happen anymore, even though I would have loved it if it had. I think it means that Rey is just not going to stay with the Resistance after the war is over and rebuild.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. I've never thought. I mean, she's never really been even interested. Although she was interested in the beginning of The Force Awakens, right? But her path is different. Once she connected with Kylo, it was very clear that she had a different path, and that's why she went to Luke, right? Which is the path of the Force, not the path of the fighting there. But there will be, I think, for a lot of the movies is not going to be with them. I don't think we're going to have Rey, Poe, and Finn a lot of the movie together, but we're going to have some scenes of them, which I think it's smart, because I love Finn and Poe, their chemistry together. I love Finn and Rey, their chemistry together as well. And maybe the three together is going to be a lot of fun and a joy to watch. I think, maybe.
Yeah. So, next photo, we have that gorgeous picture of Keri Russell as Zorii, as we predicted in character and poster leaks. And yes. What is your opinion? I think she looks amazing.
She looks great, and it's great that we still don't know what she is or what she does, and it's nice to have these kind of surprising characters. I just hope she's not like DJ, because DJ was boring. He was kind of like a cliche character, you know, but
yeah. And I also hope that she's not too much like Boba Fett. I mean, okay, she is going to be like the cool bounty hunter, but I hope she's like a bounty hunter with a heart of gold, and maybe doesn't like the First Order, and is maybe sympathetic to the Resistance, or at least the underdogs.
Maybe. In theory, they shouldn't be sympathetic to anyone, but you never know, right? And it could be many different things. And it's nice. It's nice not to know. It's nice to have something that you can speculate and you don't really know how the story is playing out. And she looks amazing.
She does. I love her, you know, the detail on her outfit, and I love her belts, and I reckon she'll be a very popular character to cosplay in the future. Mm-hmm, and I hope we see her without that helmet. I'm very curious to see what she looks like underneath.
Yeah.
And next picture, we have Finn and Janna riding those really cool space horse-like creatures that are not the Fathias.
No. This picture is gorgeous. I love it. Finn looks like a badass, and Janna is just amazing. I love her.
She looks amazing. I love how she's wielding that bow. I love how we're seeing all these kind of like medieval, you know, more medieval weaponry, I should say, come into Star Wars, like with the Knight of Ren's axe and Janna's bow. And I love how she's riding side saddle there. She looks really cool.
She does, and it's just nice to see Finn with somebody else that he's gonna interact. Lots of people are speculating she's gonna be his sister, maybe not, but maybe another friend, which is nice. And again, like you're saying, these horses, more like old weapons, it gets this fantasy feel, which we had a little bit in The Last Jedi, I thought, with imagery, and it's great that we're gonna have even more now, because Star Wars is fantasy in space, so I like to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it also like throws back to like good versus evil. Mm-hmm. You know, you've got kind of like, you know, the good knights versus the ultimate evil, which I think will be Palpatine in this case, because they look like, you know, they're on the planet where the remains of the Death Star is, and it says in the article that they're going up against the First Order's like mechanical army or something like that. So it's just really cool. It looks like a classic, you know, modern version of good versus evil, which I'm really looking, which I think after The Last Jedi we kind of lost a bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing it making a comeback in The Rise of Skywalker. I
think that's why a little bit some people were disappointed with Snoke, because then you lose the idea of evil versus good. But I think that's why it was smart to pick up Palpatine. And in the article it says that it's gonna be the climax between the Jedi and the Sith. So we're bringing back the Sith again, which I like, frankly. You know, I used to joke about Snoke, this generic Darksider.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see like another type of Darksider other than the Sith, but that's not what we got. And yeah, going back into like, you know, familiar territory was a smart move. And maybe if it says Jedi versus Sith, maybe it just means that the Jedi will be evolving into, you know, from what it was.
Yes.
Maybe.
I think they could have brought new Darksiders with a new lore. Maybe that's what they're going to have with the Knights of Ren. But they lacked the lore with Snoke. And I know that, okay, so in the original trilogy, we didn't know much about Palpatine, right? But it was the beginning now. In a series of established lore, I think you need to connect things in. You need to have something that makes sense with what came before. And that's why I think Palpatine is great. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it will be awesome. So next picture, it is Richard E. Grant, as we all knew it, the First Order officer, and he has a name now. Allegiant
Pryde.
General Pryde. Why Allegiant? Is that a big? I'm guessing that's a really big high up in the First Order. But I don't know. That is interesting.
Yeah.
And go on.
In the article, they speculate that Pryde could be Huck's father, but it really doesn't make any sense.
No. The guys, have you not read the Phasma book? Hux killed his father.
Exactly. Right, so, but they haven't read. That's why sometimes you pick the stuff that's in the article. Like that's why that's the same thing with saying maybe brothers and maybe siblings, and that's why it's interesting that if they can say so much nonsense, and then if she speculates, the part about the Knights of Ren gets cut.
Yeah, but I'm loving how Hux looks. I think Hux is trying to keep up his bravado behind General Pryde. I think he looks kind of uncomfortable. So I'm guessing this guy comes in and is the top dog of the First Order behind Kylo. So maybe Kylo brings him in because he doesn't want Hux to be like, you know, the big massive general. But I think this guy, Allegiant General Pryde, is going to be one of the big bads in the film. I think I've said it before, I think he's going to completely undermine Hux and just overthrow him, and then he's going to set his sights to Kylo, and I think he'll totally be loyal to Palpatine as one of those generals who wants to bring back the Empire.
That's a possibility. Yeah. I don't want too much stuff within the First Order, if it's not related to this major evil, right? But yeah. I think you have a very good point there. Yeah.
Yeah. It also says that we will be diving into the origins of. We will be diving into the origins of the First Order, which a lot of people have wanted, including myself. Yes. So could it have anything to do with Palpatine, or is it going to follow history after the downfall of the Germany in the First World War, and how the Nazis were made, how the Nazi Party was formed? Is it going to be something like that with the generals of the Empire splitting off and one of them forming the First Order, or was Palpatine himself responsible for the creation of the First Order in spirit now that he's coming back?
I think regardless, we need an answer, right? Like I said, it's an ongoing series of an established lore. You can say just, these are these random bad guys that came from nowhere. It doesn't work. A lot of people wanted to know who Snoke was, wanted to know, and I wanted to make sense within the lore, right, that we've had before. So I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, me too. And I'm wondering whether Allegiant General Pryde would he have been like a young Empire officer in the days of the Empire, and because as we've seen in expanded lore within the Last Jedi novel and other novels, the older officers of the First Order weren't entirely happy with how the First Order was run. So I'm hoping we'll see more of that. It was only hinted at in the films with Kennedy and with Peavy, but I'm really hoping it'll come into full force here. And I hope Pryde, kind of puts Hux in his place.
Yeah, make us proud. Come on.
Come on, make us proud, Pryde. teach a little snob a lesson. But yeah, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how these two play off each other, because these two are great. Both of them are great actors, so I think it's really going to be awesome to watch.
It is. It's going to be great, I think.
So, anything else you want to add, Denise?
Yeah, there were more photos, weren't there? Like, there was one thing in the articles. It says that Rey will have progressed until almost complete level, and I thought it was hilarious that she will progress until almost complete. Like, wasn't she already super duper special in The Force Awakens? But yeah, so basically, it's interesting that she's gonna have progressed in her Jedi training. I wonder why. Well, she has the texts, right? So she could study on her own. And it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, but it would be nice to see a little bit of that progression and a little bit of effort towards that. I think that's what we were missing. I think I was missing from her arc before, that she was just doing these things without I don't know, it's nice to see some effort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly disappointed with her character development in The Last Jedi. I thought Poe got more character development than her in that movie, and that for you know, a side character, even though he's a major side character, to have more character development than the main protagonist, that's not a good, you know, that's not a good thing. And with JJ coming back, I really hope he does focus on her a lot more. And one of the things like I've said, I really hope that her character development, you know, she does grow up a bit in regards to her, you know, feelings on the world, on loneliness, and with Kylo. So I hope that's how her character arc plays.
I think it will. I think she has a good character arc, but we've talked about it a lot. But it's internal, right? But it's oh, that's nice. No, I think movies, I say action movies, but you know, movies like that in fantasy, it's about externalizing things that are internal, right?
Which is why maybe she can have conversations with other characters such as Kylo, Finn, and Rose about how, you know, what her feelings were originally and what her feelings are now. I think that would be a good way to do it.
I think I go a little bit further than that. I sometimes think that taking a lightsaber and killing a bad guy, sometimes it can be metaphorical to something that you have, right? So I think I would like to see her struggling in terms of action, maybe even with the Force. But yeah, maybe just her talking about her feelings, that would already help a lot, because we haven't gotten that really in the movies. We sense it, but it wasn't really explored. So yeah, that could work for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And oh my god, I can't believe we forgot about this, that photograph of Luke with R2-D2.
Yes, I knew there were photos. That's super important, because it looks like the scene of the massacre, and maybe we're gonna have a flashback.
Oh my god, I hope so. And I hope that if it is a flashback, I hope they give more context into those scenes from The Last Jedi where, you know, one person gave one story, the other person gave another story, and to me it felt so out of place for Luke to want to kill his nephew. So I hope, I'm going to be honest, I hope JJ expands on it. I really, really do.
I really do, and maybe even give some explanation, maybe Palpatine, something in his mind, just a little, just to attenuate it a little bit more. And I think it's something that we need to know what happened. We know what happened between Kylo and Luke, but in terms of the temple and the students, I think it's something that it needs to be clarified. If it's not clarified, I think it's the kind of thing that's not going to leave us satisfied, because we want these plot points resolved, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's going to be resolved, hopefully, and then I think it's going to be satisfying then.
Yeah, I hope you're right as well. Or it could be the fact that Luke is returning as a Force ghost. I really hope he is, to both Rey and Kylo. And he just looks so awesome there. He looks like, you know, he looks really cool. He looks majestic, and he looks like, you know, he looks like the all-powerful wizard-like teacher which is usually in these good versus evil stories.
I love it. I agree. And that was why he was shabby in the pictures before The Last Jedi, which made sense because his character was shabby. But maybe it's not a powerful look, but you know, acquiring this wisdom and something transcendent. I think it's cool to see we saw a little bit in The Last Jedi in the end, right? But it's cool to see these characters with this force and these larger than life characters. I think it's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. And R2-D2 next to him.
Yeah, R2-D2 is gonna tell the whole story. Ta-da.
Yeah, he's pretty much the narrator of the Star Wars trilogy, so maybe he'll have like a recording in there or two.
Yeah, he has so much to tell. Oh my god.
And then just there's one last thing. There's that picture of like C-3PO under the umbrella, and Anthony Daniels said 3PO does something unexpected in the movie. But I think we all know what it is with that character poster leak.
Yeah, I think so too. He takes those weapons and this thing, which I think it's very nice. I think it's fun to give a character, especially if it's gonna be his last movie, to give this character something new, something unexpected, and yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hilarious. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope it's not too goofy. I like goofy. There is some goofiness in Star Wars, but not too much. But it can be super interesting, and I'm also looking forward to it.
Me too. Sorry, Denise. Can you hear my cat meowing in the background?
No, I cannot.
Good. He's bawling his eyes out.
Oh, they're so annoying.
Right, Denise. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think so. I think that's it.
Yep. Well, I hope you enjoyed our breakdown of the Vanity Fair photos, guys. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments about them and what you liked. And please subscribe. It helps us a lot. And you can follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Thanks for watching, and may the Force serve you well.